If you've ever changed your FOV on console, you might have noticed something odd. Some days a lower FOV feels great, while other days you play better with it higher. But here's the real question. Does lowering your FOV actually make you more accurate on console, or is your brain just playing tricks on you? Today, we'll break this down in a way that makes sense using real console experience and real results. No complicated charts or overthinking. Let's start with the basics. When you lower your FOV, everything on your screen looks closer and bigger. Enemies become easier to see and track, and your aim assist feels more locked in. This happens because your reticle moves a shorter distance to stay on target. Instead of scanning a wide screen, you're focusing on a smaller, more controlled area. That's why players who struggle with consistency often feel better when they lower their FOV. It cuts down on distractions and visual clutter, making the game feel more stable, especially in close-range fights. But here's the catch. Lower your FOV too much, and suddenly the game feels claustrophobic. You lose awareness, you lose peripheral info, and you start getting blindsided from angles you'd normally catch. It becomes harder to judge distance. Crosshair placement gets weird. Yes, lower FOV tightens accuracy, but it also shrinks your world. And in games like Apex, Warzone, or Fortnite, that comes at a huge cost. Now, let's talk about the other end. A high FOV makes the game feel fast, fluid, and responsive. Your movement feels cleaner, strafing feels smoother, you read fights better, you see more of the environment, and your brain has more information to work with. But the trade-off is that enemies look smaller, tracking them becomes harder. Your eyes have to do more work because the image is stretched across a wider view. Your aim assist might feel weaker, and for many players, the game suddenly feels slippery. This is where things finally come together, because if high FOV helps your movement and low FOV helps your aim, what should you actually use? For most console players, the sweet spot falls between 104 and 106. It keeps the game visually stable without feeling too zoomed in. You stay aware of your surroundings while still getting a clean, steady feel for your aim. Recoil becomes easier to control, you don't get overwhelmed by too much screen information, and your movement still feels smooth instead of stiff. And the best part? It's forgiving. Whether you're an aggressive player or a defensive one, that range supports both styles. Now here's the part most players skip, because the smartest way to choose your FOV isn't to copy a pro or your favorite YouTuber. It's testing your natural comfort zone. Go into the firing range and set your FOV to 110. Track dummies up close and far. Then drop it all the way down to 70 and track again. Now slowly raise it until you hit the number where enemies look clear, tracking feels smooth, and the game still feels good to move in. That number is your FOV. Not someone else's, not a meta, the one that fits your eyes, your response time, and your playstyle. It might be 100, it might be 104, it might even be 110. There is no perfect number, only the number that brings out the best version of your gameplay. So what's the truth? Yes, lowering your FOV can absolutely make you more accurate, but only up to the point where you're not sacrificing too much awareness. It's about balance, not extremes. And the players who master that balance always end up the most consistent, the most confident, and the most effective in real matches.